There's a player in Barcelona right now who has gone from being doubted to becoming one of the most desired talents in all of Europe.
Pero vamos, no le voy a quitar el mérito a Fermin, o sea, Fermin
es un jugadorazo.
Jugador espectacular, o sea, es un jugador de hoy en día que lo quiere todo el mundo, un jugador que te trabaja en el centro del campo, que te genera juego, que está activo siempre, que no se relaja nunca, que hace goles con las dos piernas, que pisa el área. O sea, vamos a ver, estamos hablando de un jugador espectacular, hombre, espectacular.
His name is Fermin López. Chelsea wanted him, Newcastle wanted him, and still, he stayed. Why? Because he knows this year is the turning point, the moment to transform from a promising squad player into a true Barcelona star.
Fermin was out of Barca because many Barca directors wanted him out because they saw Fermin's sale as a way to save the famous money. Fermin never wanted to leave, and it was intentionally leaked that Fermin had a big offer and that if he wanted to. No, I'm not telling you, and this is a bombshell. If Fermin had left Barca, Flick would have left too.
Many questioned his consistency, some even questioned his talent.
¿Qué? Porque Fermin nunca fue uno de los mejores jugadores de su generación, nunca fue un titular indiscutible, tenía una gran competencia, tenía jugadores como Casado, como Xavi Simons. Su físico no le daba para mucho, pero ¿cuál era su manera de reaccionar? El entrenador me da 10 minutos, estos 10 minutos al 200%, y marcaré un gol, o daré una asistencia, o correré, o lucharé, o aprovecharé mi oportunidad.
But every time Fermin steps onto the pitch, he silences everyone. He doesn't hide, he doesn't fear. Against Real Madrid, he scores. With Spain, he delivers gold at the Olympics.
Everything that you'd associate with Spanish teams, this lot, technique.
He has the courage to take responsibility, the guts to drag his team forward, and the passion to wear the Barca shirt like it was born on him. And here's the scary truth. Fermin López is starting to look like the heir to Andrés Iniesta. Not because he's the same player technically, there are differences, but because of the way he moves, the intelligence in his positioning, the subtlety of his passing, and the pure Masia DNA that runs through his game.
Fermin lo pasó muy mal porque tú cuando vienes de fuera, vienes del Betis, estás en la Masía, sabes que tienes que aportar algo más, que tienes que ser un poco diferencial, no es lo mismo que el jugador que fichan del Cornellà o del Girona. Entonces, él quería dar esto, pero le costaba encontrar ese contexto para ser competitivo. Pero, ¿qué pasa? La mayoría cuando les pasa esto, se rinden, se van a otro equipo, bajan los brazos y él luchó el doble.
At just 22 years old, Fermin is already Spain's all-time top scorer in Olympic football.
Poco se habla que Fermin fulminó cracks como Doué, Olise, Cherki, entre otras estrellas emergentes que ahora son titulares en los mejores equipos del mundo. Pero es que Fermin no es ni titular en el Barça. De hecho, de las Olimpiadas de las que os estoy hablando, Fermin venía a hacer su primera temporada como profesional en el Barça y prácticamente ganó solo los Juegos Olímpicos para España. 6 goles, 2 asistencias en solo 6 partidos.
He has lifted La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Supercopa. And every time he faces Real Madrid, he shines brighter, becoming their worst nightmare. The scary truth about Fermin López is this. He has the talent, the hunger, and the DNA to become Barcelona's new brain, and his legacy has only just begun. Born in Huelva, moulded in La Masia, and sharpened in the fires of first-team football, Fermin López has already proven himself far more than a passing prospect. At just 22, standing 176 centimetres and weighing 68 kilos, he has become the archetype of the modern Barca midfielder. Mobile, aggressive, intelligent, and decisive in the final third. The numbers tell the story. Ranking in the 84th percentile for shots per 90 among Europe's attacking midfielders, he's not shy about pulling the trigger. His pass accuracy sits in the 85th percentile, marrying efficiency with ambition, while his defensive duels per 90 are among the highest in his profile, proof that he doesn't just create, he hunts. That mix of grit and creativity makes him a rare hybrid, a midfielder who can dictate tempo, break lines, and arrive in the box with killer instinct. The heat maps make his style crystal clear. Whether in La Liga or the Olympic Games, Fermin thrives in the half spaces, especially the right half space. He ghosts between markers, using intelligent movement to open angles and manipulate defences. And under Flick, his game has expanded. He is now showing presence in zone 14, right at the edge of the area, where legends like Iniesta once wrote their scripts. It is here where Fermin becomes lethal, threading passes or unleashing strikes that bend games in Barcelona's favour. Fermin's evolution explains why Flick has placed him at the heart of his plan. In his first La Liga season, he scored 11 goals and added an assist, numbers rare for a midfielder his age. His second campaign saw him refine his orchestration with 8 goals and 10 assists, proving he could be both scorer and supplier. And this season, he has already delivered a career-defining performance against Valencia, scoring 2 wonder goals that silenced every critic and underlined why Barca refused to sell him at any price. The scary truth, Hansi Flick cannot replace him, not just because of his goals, but because of his dual role. He sets the tempo, he presses relentlessly, he unlocks tight defences, and when the moment comes, he delivers the final blow. In his first full La Liga season, Fermin López already separated himself from the noise. 8 non-penalty goals from midfield is no minor feat, and with 46 shots producing an expected goals tally of 6.54, he outperformed metrics in a way that only true difference makers do. An average of 0.14 xG per shot shows his intelligence in picking the right areas, while a 52% shot accuracy underlines his efficiency. For a debutant, these are not just good numbers, they are the figures of someone building a reputation as one of Spain's top-scoring midfielders. What makes his shot profile especially impressive is placement. Rarely does he hit centrally. Instead, he angles efforts into corners, demanding precision from goalkeepers. This composure is no accident. López approaches strikes with a near 90-degree body angle, rotating fiercely to generate immense power.
I think was a message to all you Barcelona fans out there that I'm here to stay, I love the football club, and if you play me,
It's a technique that maximises both pace and accuracy, and it has already become a signature weapon. His Olympic campaign proved it further, where he struck 6 times, including 2 in the final, with the same lethal mechanics. Crucially, he is 2-footed. The quarter-final against Japan was a case in point. Receiving the ball on his weaker left, he mirrored the same technique, drilling low into the bottom corner. Few midfielders in world football can strike cleanly and consistently with either foot.
Fermin es un gran descubrimiento. O sea, al final lo vimos en 2-3 entrenamientos, nos gustó. Pienso que es una irrupción muy importante, jugador de equipo fantástico, que tiene gol, tiene llegada, es dinámico, difícilmente pierde balones, gana duelos. Es un futbolista de primer nivel, de nivel.
For defenders, this unpredictability is chaos. For his coach, it is versatility incarnate. Fermin can operate from either half space, drift wide, or attack centrally, and the threat remains identical. Of course, there are areas for refinement. His volume of dribbles is still modest, even if the success rate is high. A more daring approach in 1-versus-1s could stretch defensive lines further. Similarly, his line-breaking passes often lack weight and precision, costing possession in risky zones. Flick will want him to develop that killer ball instinct, because once added, his offensive armoury will be complete. For now, López is already reliable in link-up play. He connects teammates, progresses safely, and uses space intelligently to keep Barca's rhythm flowing. The scary truth is that once he balances risk with invention, more penetrative passing, more aggressive dribbles, he will be impossible to mark. In a team like Barcelona, where all the spotlights shine on golden boys like Pedri, Yamal or Gavi, winning out is far more difficult than it looks. Yet in that galaxy of talent and endless debates about style, there are players who don't sparkle like solo stars, but make the entire machine work. Fermin López is exactly that kind of player. We said his legacy could mirror Iniesta's, and while there are echoes, Fermin is cut from a very different cloth. He burst onto the scene 3 years ago with an energy that shocked even the most sceptical fans, scoring from the second line, pressing as if the pitch was on fire beneath his boots, and proving that Barca can also produce players who don't fit the classic mould, but fit perfectly in the system. He is not a brain like Iniesta, or a metronome like Xavi. He doesn't dictate tempo from deep like Pedri, nor does he turn every touch into art like Lamine. He isn't a generational prodigy. And yet, that doesn't make him any less important. In fact, it makes him priceless. Fermin offers things Barcelona usually lack. He has timing. He has goals. He has elite intensity. He knows when to press, when to sprint, when to attack the space. And perhaps most crucially, he knows when to remain silent with the ball and speak with his movement.
Fermin López is in.
Hansi Flick has always thrived with these profiles. At Bayern, it was Goretzka, Müller, or Gnabry in certain phases. At Barca, the name is Fermin, not the artist, not the conductor, but the hammer that strikes at the right moment. Creatively, he delivers bursts. His expected assists and shot-creating actions spike every few games, and when given continuity, his impact doubles.
Pues hay un jugador que a lo mejor va a sorprender, pero que me encanta, por su ardor guerrero, por cómo es, tiene un espíritu de combate que me gusta, tiene gol. Se llama Fermin. Me gusta Fermin.
He has an instinct for goals, but also the calmness to link play and feed the more technical profiles around him. He doesn't dominate every zone, but he influences the ones that decide matches the edge of the box, the rebound, the second ball, the split-second run that cracks the block. This makes him a kind of foreign body within La Masia's tradition. While the academy has been obsessed with delicate playmakers, Fermin thrives on power, stamina, and his two-footed strike.
And a shot is on and a goal for Fermin López.
He arrives late into the box like a shadow and punishes. He doesn't decorate, he executes. And in a Barca that often suffocates itself with over-possession, that verticality is pure oxygen. Some underrate him because he doesn't have Dani Olmo's aesthetic. But in terms of production, in terms of pure utility, Fermin is already more decisive. And far from clashing with the likes of Pedri, Lamine or Rafinha, he amplifies them. His runs give them space. His timing multiplies their options. The metrics back it up. Fermin excels in offensive production. Goals, shots, key actions in the final third. He's not the one who builds possession, but the one who turns possession into danger. His shot maps, his presence in finishing zones, and his ability to arrive as a classic second-line midfielder make him one of Flick's deadliest tools.
With the players who came in and he made a fantastic job. So
Fermin hizo un muy buen trabajo.
Es un
muy buen jugador y lo necesitamos, siempre está en la correcta posición y también juega muy bien con el balón, siempre está a tope para jugar contra el oponente y en la defensa es increíble. Está en un muy
The scary truth about Fermin López is not that he has Iniesta's genius or vision of play, because he doesn't. He does not possess the same cerebral brilliance that made Andrés a once-in-a-lifetime talent. What Fermin does have, though, is his heart. That burning heart that makes him run endlessly for his team.
I always say, right? There is interest and all that, but the truth is that I have always had my idea of being at Barca, which was my dream, and to be able to succeed here.
And at the same time, that icy heart that allows him to take decisions when nobody else dares, decisions that can change the course of a game. This is the spirit that once gave us that mythical shot at Stamford Bridge, or the goal that won Spain the World Cup. That legacy lives on in Fermin López. He is the player who never stops, the one who plays for the team before himself, exactly as Iniesta always did. And just like Andrés, he is the one who will always appear when the team needs him most. You can never switch off when Fermin is on the pitch. You can never give him space. Never underestimate him. Because while he might not be a generational talent like Iniesta, he has a generational heart. And in football, sometimes that makes all the difference. His technical qualities, his intensity, his timing, all of it is exactly what Barcelona need right now. And Hansi Flick knows it. The German coach already lived a nightmare when Chelsea and Newcastle tried to tempt him away from Camp Nou. And that's where the story gets even more dangerous. Hansi Flick almost lost a player who carries Barcelona whenever Lamine Yamal is not on the pitch. Against Valencia, Fermin López showed exactly why playing, without doubt, his best game since breaking into the first team.
That's a beautiful touch from Ferran and Pedri.
His influence within the squad has only grown, and everything suggests he will fight tooth and nail to secure more minutes. Flick trusted him with a starting spot against Los Che, and for the first time this season, Fermin completed the full 90 minutes. All of this came while the pressure around him intensified. Chelsea pushed hard, Newcastle hovered with intent, and the rumours screamed louder than ever.
Fermin López, I spoke about this deal in the previous video, and I can add that Chelsea spoke to the players' agents on Tuesday. There was a direct contact between the agents of Fermin.
Yet Fermin, backed by his club, resisted the storm. He chose to stay where his heart always belonged, Barcelona. Over the summer, Flick threw some sharp comments his way during press conferences.
At the moment he is here. I have spoken to him, of course, and I am convinced that he is going to stay, but in the end I don't know what will happen. That's how it is. We have to wait, and I am very happy. I will be happy when the transfer window closes.
But once the season began, the German balanced the stick with the carrot offering quality minutes and showing faith. Fermin responded the only way he knows, by delivering.
Touch from Ferran and Fermin.
His performance level makes it increasingly difficult to take him out of the 11. As Flick himself admitted, the 22-year-old still has room to improve, but if veterans can evolve, why wouldn't a young player with his hunger? His brace against Valencia was only part of the story. More important was his all-round impact. 57 completed passes out of 65, attempted an 88% success rate, 4 successful dribbles out of 6, 8 ball recoveries, and half of his duels won. Defensively committed, offensively sharp, and endlessly dynamic, it was the full package. The numbers already place him among the elite of his generation. Only 4 players born in the 21st century have scored more goals for Barca's first team. Ansu Fati, 22.
Fermin's game yesterday, what the hell was it like? It was amazing. She scored 2 goals. I don't know if you could see it on TV, but I was on the pitch and she just kept pressing. She's a machine. I said it a few weeks ago. I don't see Olmo starting, I see Fermin starting. And with the game Fermin played yesterday, I think it would be a bad move for Fermin.
Pedri, 21, and Lamine Yamal, 16. Fermin has already reached 16 as well, but in just 62 games, a strike rate unmatched by his peers. He scores every 178 minutes in La Liga, bettered only by Ansu's 157. By comparison, Yamal scores every 333, and Pedri every 477. For a midfielder, this production is pure gold. Against Valencia, Fermin had 5 shots, 4 on target, 2 in the back of the net. His versatility only makes him more dangerous. He can operate as an attacking midfielder or on the left wing, as seen last season against Real Madrid, where he netted a stunning goal, unfairly disallowed. Flick knows this, which is why even when he brought Dani Olmo into the match, Fermin stayed on the left until the final whistle. For Hansi Flick, Fermin López is quickly becoming indispensable. His mixture of intensity, intelligence and scoring instinct gives Barca something no other player provides. The display against Valencia is close to his best version, but the German manager is convinced there is still more to come. With his work ethic, desire and love for the badge, there's no doubt Fermin López is built for greatness at Barcelona. The final days of Barcelona's transfer window were shaken by Fermin's story, the possible exit to Chelsea. Rumours suggested that until deadline day there was genuine noise around a move because the Premier League giants had their eyes firmly on him. Fermin at moments admitted to himself he had doubts. His heart told him to stay at Barca, but the siren calls from London were tempting, especially when his minutes at the Camp Nou felt too limited. Yet the truth is clear. At no point was a transfer ever close. How did it all start? A little over a month ago, Deco received an email from Chelsea. It wasn't a formal bid, but it did state their interest, with an indication they could put around 40 million euros on the table. Deco didn't even bother to reply. To him, that figure was ridiculous for a player of Fermin's calibre. From that moment, though, the media storm erupted. In Spain and in England, headlines multiplied. His agent spoke with Barcelona confirming Chelsea's interest, but Deco gave a direct answer. If there is to be a move, it must be Fermin himself who says he wants to leave. Nothing less. Just like when Íñigo Martínez made his own decision with the Saudi offer, but Fermin never knocked on Deco's door. Meanwhile, inflated numbers began to surface 50 million euros, 58 million euros, but they seemed to come more from noise around the player than from Stamford Bridge. Chelsea's internal reaction was sharp. Too much money for that boy? At the same time, rumours spread that Barcelona would ask for 90 million euros, yet no one from the club ever named such a figure. The truth, there were no negotiations, no second emails, no official contacts beyond that first message. What Barca did know is that if Fermin ever requested to go, they would never settle for 58 million euros. Because despite the brutal financial weight of fair play regulations, Barca hold Fermin in the highest regard. Maybe not 90 million euros, but certainly nothing under 70 million euros. Why? Because he is young, already a champion with the club, an Olympic gold medalist, an international for Spain, and one of the most complete midfielders of his age group in Europe. In the context of Premier League spending, 58 million euros was simply too low. no. In the end, the whole saga revealed itself for what it was, a mild flirtation from Chelsea, amplified by the media, met with firm silence from Barca, and with Fermin himself refusing to betray his colours. The boy from El Campillo never wanted to walk away, and now after the storm, he stands even taller in the Camp Nou. And after all that transfer saga, Fermin answered in the only way that matters, on the pitch. Hansi Flick handed him minutes, and the midfielder responded with a statement performance. Flick himself could not hide his delight. For me, today was a big step, the German coach said after the match. This is what I want to see every game. Without the ball, very aggressive, winning duels, and with the ball, incredible. He showed it today. When you play with this confidence, it's really great. But Flick also added his classic balance of praise and challenge. He reminded everyone that Fermin still has things to polish. More composure, less risk in certain moments, and avoiding unnecessary flourishes when a simple pass is enough. He must improve, Flick said, but he is on the right path. This blend of trust and demand is exactly what makes Fermin's story so powerful. The club almost lost him in the transfer market, but instead of being distracted, he doubled down on his commitment to Barca, and with Flick giving him space to shine, he has turned that pressure into fuel. The scary truth about Fermin López is that he is no longer just a promising talent. He is becoming the heartbeat of Barcelona, the player who runs until his lungs burn, who appears when others hide, who carries the weight of history without fear. He is not Iniesta, he will never be, but he has that same fire in his chest, the courage to decide games, and the love for Barca that makes him irreplaceable. At just 22 years old, he is already writing his own chapter. Olympic champion, league champion, cup champion, Madrid's nightmare, and now the midfielder who refused the temptations of England to keep fighting for the badge he adores. The future of Barcelona will have many names: Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, but make no mistake, Fermin López belongs in that list. He is the proof that sometimes the most dangerous weapon is not raw talent, but heart, sacrifice, and destiny. Barca have found their warrior. The story of Fermin has only just begun.